Amazing Polar Bears by Harvey. Polar bears quietly slide into the water. The mother has 2 babies at a time. Polar bears live in Antarctica where it snows. Wow, Polar Bears by Ainsley. Let me tell you about polar bears. They live in a hole in the snow. They eat seals, fish, milk, and a lot more. The cubs stay with their mom. Amazing Polar Bears by Kara Westerkamp. You can find polar bears in the north. Polar bears eat fish, walruses, seals, reindeer, and birds. When polar bears are born, they are no bigger than a rat. Their hair is 14 inches. Polar Bears by Nolan Lurup. Polar bears are amazing. They eat seals, small whales, and walruses. Most of the time, mothers have twins. They have big feet and big bodies. Polar bears have been seen nose to nose with sled dogs. Polar bears are amazing creatures by RBW. Polar bears live in North America, in the North Pole, and the Arctic. Polar bears are the biggest bears so far. Polar bears' footprints are bigger than a picture frame. Polar bears eat seals and fish. Polar bears have sharp claws, long necks, long bodies, blubber, and small eyes. And thank you for reading this book. All About Polar Bears by Cameron Ozencott. Polar bears eat seals and fish. When a polar bear is 2 years old, it will have to have a polar bear of its own. Polar bears are so cool. Amazing Bears by Alexander Scott Dekker. Polar bears are huge. It is cold where they live. They walk on ice, but it is water frozen. Oil spills are in the Arctic, which are bad for the polar bears because they can't swim in the water. Polar Bears by Rosie. Polar bears eat seals. They eat fish.
The babies stay with their mothers for 2 years. This is a close-up of a polar bear's paw. Polar bears are amazing. Polar Bears by Anna. Polar bears usually give birth to twins. Polar bear cubs weigh just over 1 pound at birth. They stay with their mother for almost 2 years. They are about the size of a stick of butter. Male polar bears can weigh up to 1,500 pounds. Female polar bears usually only weigh about half as much as male. Amazing Mammals by Brooklyn Vanderveer. Polar bears are mammals. They live in the Arctic. They have thick fur and they are yellow and white. They have large feet and they have a layer of fatness. And they fell asleep. Do you want to be a polar bear expresser? Awesome Polar Bears by Megan Scanlon. Da, 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 da. They are so amazing. Polar bears live in the Arctic and the North Pole. The baby polar bear is born blind. Polar bears build a house called a snow den. They mostly eat seals, dead sperm whales, and yummy fish. Yum. By Jacob. Polar bears. Polar bears eat reindeer. The blubber on the polar bear's stomach and anywhere else keeps them warm. The cubs stay with their mothers for 2 to 3 years. Amazing Polar Bears by Anna Boss. Baby cubs slide down hills. Polar bears can grow up to 8 feet. They can live 25 years old. They live around the North Pole. Amazing Polar Bears by Caleb Dykstra. They eat seals, walruses, and dead sperm whales. Yummy! Bears travel 9,000 miles in search of food. Polar Bears by Elizabeth Hospice. Polar bears live in the Arctic and higher Canada. They eat reindeer, seals, walruses, and birds. They can run 40 miles. Cub size grows when they are born.
Polarbears by Jackson Animal. Polar bears have poor eyesight, but they have a good sense of smell. Polar bears want to eat fat salmon. Polar bears travel an average of 9.0 miles a year in search of food. Bigger polar bears eat smaller polar bears.
Polar Bears by Henry E.
Polar bears are the least hunted animal in the Arctic. Fully grown polar bears have 40 teeth and they weigh 1,000 pounds. Polar bears have a diet set on seals, walrus, and seabirds. Polar bears live in northern Canada, Russia, and the Arctic. Their cubs don't attack unless they think they are in danger.
Polar Bears by Jaden Kuiper. Let me show you some cool facts about polar bears. A polar bear's fur is creamy white. The law is to not kill a polar bear with boats. They love seals, fish. A polar bear cub stays with its mother for 2 years. They are amazing.